Good morning. Welcome back. Today, I thought I would take a second and talk to you a little bit about the importance of having an emergency fund. I know it's kind of basic, but here's the truth of the matter that it really is crucial that you have yourself a little cushion between what's going to happen, because life happens, and desperation. And here's the thing. Um, an emergency fund can turn a catastrophe into an inconvenience. Let me tell you how you do that. It's what I tell my kids. When it comes to saving money and our culture of paycheck to paycheck, you have to tell yourself no. We have a tendency to justify, say we need it or we deserve it or things like that. And that's fine. Maybe you do. However, at some point, you have to pump those brakes and start telling yourself no. But what I've told my kids when it comes to savings and, the save spend balance, if you will, you tell yourself no now to say yes later in a bigger way. So here's a couple of things that happened to us. First, me and my husband, we did the Dave Ramsey plan to pay off debt with a little ish. So his baby step one is to have $1,000. Completely agree with that. You should have a minimum of $1,000. That wasn't enough for me. The thought of only having 1,000 made me so anxious. Mind you, we did have tons of debt. We have a mortgage, I had student loans, we credit cards, medical bills, the works, all the stuff. And we had a pretty modest income, less than, I don't know, maybe 80,000 between the two of us. Anyway, so I compromised with him and said we would do 3,000 and just kept it at that. That's not enough to cover an emergency room visit or a transmission, but regardless, that would take care of a blown tire or alternator or, you know, sprained ankle, things like that. Anyway, so there was a few things that did happen while we were in the process of paying off debt. Life. Life happens. But it was so comforting to know that when these situations and events occurred, we were going to be okay. And what we would do is we would handle whatever came at us, pay that off, continue building back our savings, and then continue paying off debt. Once we paid off the debt, we did the next Dave Ramsey step was see, step one is $1,000. Step two, pay off all of your debt, smallest to largest, aside from the mortgage. And step three is 3 to 6 months emergency fund. So we got our 6 months and then decided it was time to upgrade our vehicle. So I haven't had a car payment since I was 17. It's very doable. It is. We tell ourselves no a lot. That means we skip concerts, we skip eating out a lot. We buy very simple meals. That's a whole nother video. And I'll make that one eventually. But anyway, so we decided to save up for a car. Well, in the process of doing that, we had about 10,000 put away towards the car. Our car got stolen out of our driveway. And the whole time, I just kept actually saying a thank you prayer. Like, I understand why you do this kind of stuff, why you discipline your money like you would a diet. I say no to bad food, I say no to bad purchases. Same correlation. Well, the reason I was saying thank you prayers is I wasn't anxious, it wasn't a catastrophe. We had money set aside for this. It was ironic the timing, but regardless, like it just made a horrible, violating situation a little bit more peaceful because we were already kind of proactive on it. So within 12 hours of our car getting stolen, I'm lucky where my husband works at a dealership, so he kind of gets to see what's available on the front line. Um, we went and bought a car and then Couple hours later, get a call from our local police department that they located our vehicle. Totaled. We'll never drive again. So, I mean, if I can't sell you on having an emergency fund and starting to put money away, I don't know what would. These things really, really, really brought us a lot of peace in horrible, awful, very uncomfortable situations. And I would just encourage you, dig in, do what it takes. Say no a lot until you have whatever comfort number you have. And the first time something arises where you have to use that money, you'll thank yourself. You'll you'll understand it brings a lot of peace. I remember the very first time I had $1,000. I was working at a casino, minimum wage job, and I was just putting away 20, 30, 50, depends on how the tips went. And one day I was just kneeling down next to our safe and I counted $1,000 cash, and just this wash of peace came over me. And I promised myself I will never have less than this again, just for the sake of that peace that came over me. So, again, do what it takes. Tell yourself no now so you could say yes later in a much bigger way, and get that savings built up. Get some distance between you and catastrophe and you and paycheck to paycheck. And for some, it's going to be harder. For some, it's going to be easier. It doesn't matter your income. I've done it on minimum wage. When I made 12,000 in a year, it can be done. It really can be done. So, if you found this video helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing. I'll be back hopefully next week to share something else. These are the adult cheat codes. Thank you. Have a good day.